So in part 2 of our look at the boogie pattern, we're going to look at some variations on the pattern that we learnt in part 1. So, we're already familiar, aren't we, with our standard boogie pattern in the key of A, either played with a straight rhythm or with a swung rhythm. Now, the first variation on our pattern, appropriately, is something that Chuck Berry uses a lot. Where we previously only used the ring finger, we can also introduce the little finger playing the note on the 4th string 1 fret higher than the 3rd finger. That's a stretch. That's a stretch. Your thumb will have to drop down the neck, allowing the wrist to rock forward and keeping that nice separation between the fingers. That's what you're looking to achieve. And it sounds like this. I bet you've heard it before, haven't you? You've heard that kind of idea. What we're doing there is we're going down on our original position and then up on the same position. Now put the ring finger down and play the strings 5 and 4 again as a downstroke. Take the ring finger off and play up from our original 1st finger position. Now the little finger on the 4th string 5th fret, go down on that and then come off again and play up at our original position. So notice how every finger we put down is played on a downstroke and it's followed by an upstroke in our original position. Can you follow that? So I'm going with the right hand, I'm just going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, but the fingers are going off, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, 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 on, off, on, off, on, off. Just be careful on the ons to get the correct finger. Ring finger followed by little finger. Okay, that will work for the blues and for rock and roll. Like the blues, you'll get this. Notice how I'm damping more heavily there. That's just a feel thing. It's not an essential thing to do, but I'm stopping those chords a bit more for the blues. And damping just means my right hand is resting a little more heavily on the strings than before. So there it is on the blues. We already heard a suggestion of it on rock and roll and No Particular Place to Go. Here it would be for rock and roll. Okay, now I'm only showing you that for the A chord, but not surprisingly it works for the D chord and the E chord in our 12-bar blues sequence. A, E, D, A. Alright, one other variation on the boogie pattern that I want to show you is used almost exclusively with the swung rhythm. You very rarely see this in a straight rhythm, but it involves, rather than just putting the ring finger down, hammering it down so that we get this sound. Again, a very common one. The Beatles used it for their tune Revolution, if you know that song. What we're doing here is we're going down, down on our original 1st finger position, and then we're going down again on that 1st finger position, but we're going to hammer the 3rd finger onto the 4th string 4th fret. And then take it off and play back at the original position again. So off, off, hammer, off, 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 hammer, off. And the hammer needs to... The rhythm is important of the hammer. It adds up to a triplet, by which I mean this. 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. So the hammer is coming on the 2 and the 4 and it must count 2 and a, 2 and a, or 4 and a, 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. The rhythm's important. Again, it can be a blues or a rock and roll. Works beautifully for a slow blues. You almost feel yourself needing to start singing, "Whoa, this morning." And with rock and roll too. Let's take a look at one more while we've got the cameras rolling here. Something slightly different. A single note pattern. A single note boogie-woogie pattern. It's going to sound like this. That's a fun one. Kind of like Carl Perkins kind of feel. Now, we can play that either straight or swung. Before I show you what it is, so straight was what we just did. Can you hear the ticking of the clock? Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. But we can also swing it. Now, what's happening here is we're still holding our same note down, but we're going to add some other notes too. We're going to come up the 5th string, we're going to hit the open string twice. Then we're going to fret the 5th string 3rd fret followed by the 5th string 4th fret. Then we take those 2 fingers away and we play the 4th string fretted where it already is at the 2nd fret. Play that twice. Then put the ring finger down as we've been doing for the other patterns. Play that note and then come back to the 4th string 2nd fret. I tend to alternate with the right hand down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, but you could play it as all downs. Again, as fast as you like. It could be a slow blues. But you hear it a lot in rockabilly music, like Carl Perkins. Again, it works for every one of the chords we've looked at. So when it's time to play D in the 12-bar blues sequence, move that 1st finger to the 3rd string and start playing the 4th and 3rd strings. And when it's time for the E chord, the same thing. Finger moves to the 5th string 2nd fret, but the same pattern works on the 6th and 5th strings. And back to A if you want to. So that's a little bit trickier, but a fun one to finish with. If you've got your head around all the others, you might be ready to have a little look at a fun little rockabilly riff like that.